So welcome to part 5 of the sequel of videos. In this one we're going to look, and I think this will be the most important one, and it's to dissect each profession, and that everybody within their own right is very good. It's what I believed a long time ago as the system struggled to amalgamate different professions, and I think this one will hit home with a lot of people in just how important it is to physically look at every single avenue when you go to try and fix your body, especially from a chronic injury. Okay, so in this video obviously we're just highlighting various treatments and different methods. Some have tried, some think they've had massive results from, and some then obviously on the opposite side do think they're really bad. And it's more so that the system, and it's something I set out years ago to say that why can't one professional, or why it'd be great to be able to come to a venue that has a really good chiropractor, a really good physio, really good even down the line of a Reiki individual or healer and so on. So if we start in the middle and we talk about a chiropractor, the sole focus there is to deal with the spine, deal with the nervous system, the effects of the positioning of a vertebra on the nervous system itself, maybe doing higher end stuff in regards to reflex tests to see if you retain reflexes, and different brain function stuff like post-concussion injuries and so on. My biggest issue has been that if we go into a psychologist and we're getting great results, or let's say if we're in the middle of our treatment and we're going then to a physio or a neuromuscular therapist and we're not divulging some of the information with them, it's very difficult for them to get the full picture of why do you hold so much tension when you're on the bed. Or not only that, you may relax during that treatment when you're with your Reiki therapist and you feel great at the time, but then an hour or two later or a couple of days later you're back to square one, and it's perhaps because you're still dealing with the issues that you're talking to the psychologist about, or a counsellor, or whatever it is for that reason. When it comes to a cranial therapist, they'll obviously focus very, very clear on the cranial. Some fantastic results you can get from that. It may be the one thing you needed, and each of these professionals said you may go and get phenomenal results by just going to an acupuncturist, and they may hit that exact spot that needed to be cleared, and you may never have the issue again. So every single bit of this works. It always did. It's just whether it was the right fit for you. Maybe you're somebody who is chronic and you needed a guide from each of those. So over the years, obviously, we now have been able to do our osteopathic technique courses and so on, and it's made a huge difference, because there is times when you'll do an extensive muscle treatment and people are saying, I just feel like my neck may need to crack, is the language they use, but it's not about the crack after all. It may just be the positioning of that specific joint that needed to be adjusted. And then finally, obviously, if we look in the line of moving way miles away from Western medicine, and we look at things like Reiki and healing, okay, some people will get fantastic results from them. I know over the years, I've probably used all of these various treatments, but my goal, and I believe, was trying to get to the proper root cause of little niggling injuries. And as you go through various points in your life, you will pick up specific injuries, but it was very important to know that all of these services work. But for us as a team, we're trying to build a long-term franchise style business that would actually have a lot of these in-house. And after all, that's something we've tried to be doing as a team, was be able to offer the emotional, physical and the mental treatment throughout the one plan, if that's the easiest way of explaining it.